All right, so I want to talk about race, police brutality, the difference between being born as a African American or living in America as a minority. But I'm gonna say specifically African American because it seems that being in America as an African American male, I can tell you, it's one of the scariest things that you could ever be. It's people like to classify and categorize and put everybody in groups as minorities, but there's a difference between a minority and a black man. As just every year you're gonna get minorities are gonna have more population in prison than the white people in this country. However, when it comes down to police brutality, that's what separates the minorities from the blacks. You don't hear a lot about like Hispanic people or Asian people or Middle Eastern people, Arabic people. You don't hear a lot about them getting killed by the police. When the police pull them over, they don't feel like they're a threat. They don't make them get out the car. Put their knees on their throats, stomp down on them, beat them down. Um, they don't see them as a threat. It's like when you're a black male, though, it don't matter what your background is. You could be a computer programmer, you could be a criminal, you could be an athlete, a rapper, anything. You still gonna get the same treatment. Being a black person beaten down by the police or being pulled over by the police is without them even knowing your background and not knowing what kind of person you are. When you go down, you're gonna be classified as a threat. They're gonna say, "I was threatened. I felt worried about my life. I was afraid. He was resisting. He was coming for me." For whatever reason, they're quick to reach for the gun, and if they don't reach for the gun, they're quick to jump on you. It's not just one jumping on you; it's a group of them jumping on you. And as y'all know, just recently we had an incident where an African American male was beat down and killed by the police. I don't think I have to say any names. I think we all know what I'm talking about. Um, but some will say in this country because he was black and it was done by black officers that you see, it had nothing to do with race because they're black and he's black. You see, an officer, feels threatened. It doesn't matter the color of their skin because, again, he's black, they're black. But the reality is, once a cop becomes a cop, or the way we see it in the community I'm from, once you put on a badge, or once you become a cop, you're not considered to be black or white or Arabic or Chinese. You're considered to be a blue, an officer. So at that point, it don't matter what color you are. You represent the same thing once you put the badge on. We see all people as the same. Once the badge goes on, everyone becomes the same to us. So the reality is, I just made this video so y'all can understand that for the people who want to say, that it can't be racism or it can't be this, it can't be that because like I said before, he's black, they're black. But the systemic racism is bigger than just one incident. It's bigger than us against them or however you want to classify it. Once you put on a badge and you become an officer, your job is to protect and to serve. And at that point, again, I feel like that's when race goes out the window. That's when the brotherhood, the system, the organization, whatever you want to call it, that's when that takes over from the color of your skin. I heard stories where white people would tell me, "Oh, I got pulled up by a black cop, and he treated me like this because he was black. I was speeding, but he didn't have to do this or he didn't have to do that." The thing is, it don't got nothing to do with the color of his skin. He could have been white, he could have been anything else, but because he's an officer, you got treated the way that you were treated by an officer. It can go both ways. I mean, in that sense, it don't matter what color you are. An officer is an officer. Is what I'm saying. So if a black officer pull you over and you happen to be a white person in America, is an officer. It's not because he's black he's gonna treat you differently because you're white. He's gonna treat you the same way he would treat me, because that's what officers do. The ones that are out to do bad. So what I want y'all to take away from this is just a short version of what I have to say, is that the clarification here is that an officer is an officer. A police is a police. A deputy is a deputy. It don't matter what color they are. It don't matter what color you are. It's all the same thing. And what happened to this young man, we want the same justice whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Latino. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in, because we're going to be bringing more topics. And if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in the comments, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think.